Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I was trying one of these kind of time saver things. This is a Milwaukee wire stripper. Now this is for 12 gauge wire. I also have one for 14 gauge wire, both solid. You can't use them on stranded. And you can buy this in a kit as well that comes with a 10 and an 8 gauges strippers. These are fully self-contained. There are similar units on the market that basically have this piece here, one of these, and then a handful of these, kind of like a saw, hole saw kit where you have a bunch of blades and one arbor. But the Milwaukee comes with all of them. It's very well made. You can adjust the depth by sliding this collar down and sliding the quick lock adapter back and forth. You can see 1/2, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and it's got some marks here that help hold it in place. What that does is it creates a stop inside here, you can see, and then there is a blade on this side that this is spinning inside an impact driver or drill. It grinds off very precisely the insulation on the wire. I'm having mixed success with these. And then there's another thing I'll show you. This is a wire nut adapter or wire nut driver, so the wire nuts just fit inside there and you can drive it as well. So you're going to need a whole bunch of different tools to drive all of these things if you want. Hook them on your belt and then zip back and forth. What I'm wondering though, I'll get right to the point here, how come you can't build something like this on the end there? Because even these small little ones, you could drop it in and it fits way down inside there. You might be able to build some sort of a holder here. I do, you know, in bow hunting, there are all kinds of broadhead grabbers, so I don't know if you need a real sophisticated one, but this actually works fairly well. I'll show you in a sec. But why isn't it this? Why isn't it on here, just built on? Just a thought. Anyway, let's go ahead and try this thing. Now the problem I've run into is it bogs down with stuff stuck in it. And that stuff is the plastic coating on the outside of the wire here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a little piece to work with. So this is 12 gauge, so I have to have the 12 stripper on there. The 14, this does not fit in without way too much force, so you shouldn't accidentally do it, but it also might be good to, you know, have a place where you can just stick the wire and know what size, you know, just another tool. But anyways, ideally I just stick this in and spin it. Let's see what happens. You have to hold on pretty tight. Okay, excellent. Any scoring? Oh yeah. Let's see if that'll ground that. It's a kind of a polished scoring, so maybe that doesn't count. Is there an electrician in the house that would know? That looks like a bit more of a ding. So let's go ahead and try it again on this. I'll go slower here. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. See this? That often gets stuck in there after a couple of them. So we'll go ahead and, so there it is. Ground that down, and that's wedged in there. So what I'm going to do is do a couple. I'll go ahead and do 2 in a row here. And I'm not going to clean this thing out, because remember, it's supposed to be a time saver. Well, that one didn't go as planned. Maybe too tight. There we go. Well, let's try this side. Huh. So let's add some depth, maybe. Is that our problem? Whoa, that didn't. Really have to hang on and push. You got kind of a persistence of vision thing going on in here, so you can actually see the wire inside there. Oh, interesting there. Huh. Let's try this wire here. This one's a little bent up. Has to be pretty straight, but I should be able to force it in there. Interesting. So, if I want to clean this thing out, what do I do? What I've found is a couple of things. One is I use this pick here, and I can push in and try to get that stuff out. It doesn't matter if I take this off, which is kind of interesting. Pop that thing off. There's still no access anywhere. So it doesn't really help because it's closed in on this side too. So I've been trying to find an easy way to get in there and get all this stuff out. There must be differences in wires that, you know, the other people aren't running into this, because it sure gums up fast. You know, I'm hoping I'm doing it wrong, but for the price, you know, there's something else going on. I need to be able to clean this. So let's try something here. Put this back together. I'm going to go to some Romex. I'll just go about half. So here's a piece of Romex, and what I'll do is I'll strip this right about, I'll do it about there. Pull these out. Okay, so I've got those two, because then ultimately I want to get to this thing, because that actually does work really well, and I'll show you a couple of variations I've been playing with. So throw it on my surge here, and we'll go ahead and try it. That worked beautifully. Turn this guy around. Again, there's still stuff in there. Nice. What do you think? So it might be really wire dependent. I don't know. Now let's go to the other tool here. This guy. Drop that in. This is for wire nuts. And I haven't decided. I've found if I put the wire nut in here, and then if I can get those all in there, that's on really solid. And it also works great for taking them off too. But that's what it looks like. Pretty good. So let's try another, and I'll show you another way to do it. So I'm going to cut that. Yeah, these things, if you don't have them for the price, they're pretty amazing. I see why they have what I call a cult following. And this is I think this might be the smaller one. I don't know. But anyway, they just work so well here for stripping Romex. Pull those apart. Alrighty, let's try this. Whoops, do the stripper again. That's where you need a bunch of tools. So, which one is this? This is the 12. I'll shrink it down just a little. Probably about right there. Go ahead and... Nice. Whoops. Alright, what do you think? Now obviously you'd never hook them up like this, so this is just an example. I'll go with, try the green one here. So I could, this is what it would look like. You know, I could start it by hand and then, whoops, went the wrong way there. So that's on nice and snug. Yeah, pretty good. Now, here's one of the variations I was thinking of, because this actually does work. So I'll go ahead and cut another piece off here, another strip. Trying to do it a little less aggressively. What do those look like to you? Looks pretty good. So that part works great. So anyway, I'll put these together. Or I'll just do two here. What if I don't use a driver and just put it on a driving handle? And I found this Klein one works really good. So what I can do then is grab a nut. Oops, grab another wire nut here and drop it in. This fits right in. Right inside there. You can see there are different layers down in there. So I'll drop it in, and then center that and give it some twists. To me, that's a lot easier, plus a better feel than trying to do it by hand. So there you go. Or to take them off. I thought about a ratcheting one, but you have so little resistance here that back drag might be an issue. Anyway, so there it is. It seems to be wedged in there. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I could get it out of there. Obviously, I could just screw it onto a wire, but this seems to be pretty fast. Plus, I don't have to dedicate one of my drivers to a wire nut tool. These are about 10 bucks. The set of wherever it went, these guys here was about 30 something, high 30s. And this, the bigger set, I think was in the 50s or 60s somewhere. I didn't see one on the shelf, but I really like the way this thing is designed. I think it's pretty slick. I would like a cleaning port of some kind. I don't know how you do that. And that wire nut tool is just so handy. Is there any way you could combine them? But I do see why this is so smooth here. And if you're an electrician, you probably are thinking, duh. But if you're working around the other wires, if you don't have a smooth, really nice area to work with, that's not gonna get caught on anything, especially if you're in a junction box or something. I just don't know why it's all bunged up on this wire. Let's try, how about this one? Kind of strange thing to be happening across so many pieces of wire. What's going on? There, that time it took it off. Again, kind of bunged up. Oh, that one came through the bottom. You can see. I don't know. I don't think Klein has one of these. Maybe they're working on one. Maybe they'll come out with a similar design. I think there is room for improvement, but it's a pretty neat tool. You can see now it's worn off the stuff. There's just a little kind of a split ring holding this on. All that does is prevent it from falling out the bottom. I can push that. There we go. So you can see it just drops down inside there. Can I go out? Maybe I can go out the top. I haven't tried that yet. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. That's interesting. Did I just ruin it? There's a ball bearing in there. Nope. Oh, you've got to have that lined up. Correct. So if you take it apart, you've got to line those holes up with the ball bearing. There we go. All back to good. But anyway, there it is. I will put a link, I think, to Home Depot. I don't know, I can't really do an Amazon link. These are available at Acme Tool, a bunch of different places. So I guess if you're doing a lot of the same stuff over and over and over, this could really be a time saver. And I do like this. I do like the idea of the nut drivers, although one of the things I found is I like the feel, knowing, how tight things are. It's hard to tell with an impact just how tight things are getting when it comes to the nuts. But I guess if you're running at a low torque, that would work great. But boy, is that fast. And it's almost like it frees up your hand once you get going. You don't have to hold everything together. And as far as I can tell, it works on almost all size wire nuts, unless you got really tiny ones. But again, if they could combine those into two tools, or into one tool, that would be pretty cool. I don't know if I gave you the part number on this guy. It's 48326400. It's about 10 bucks. That to me is a keeper. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.